This is Surfing Through Cinema. I'm your host, Hawaii Harry. Today, with my brother Hunter, we're going to discuss one of the most divisive films there is.
In honor of its 20th anniversary and the supposed last film released this past weekend, we're talking about Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Okay, Harrison.
So, I'm not Harrison. I'm Hawaii.
Oh, shiz, you're right. Hawaii Harry. That's fine. I mean, we could have put two and two together. If I saw Hawaii Harry, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. So, on here, I want to talk about Phantom Menace, of course.
Yeah.
But first, what were your thoughts on the movie we just watched?
The Phantom Menace?
Not that one. The one we saw before that. The one yesterday.
Shouldn't we save that till the end?
I guess we should save
because we'd be like, if you don't want any spoilers, let's... So what you should do is restart or something and mention, stick to the end, and we'll give our first impressions of Star Wars Last Return of the Jedi or something. What is it called?
Maybe you should add that into your part so you have more to talk about. Okay.
Yes.
So, this is Surfing Through Cinema. I'm your host, Hawaii Harry. Today, with my brother Hunter, we're going to discuss one of the most divisive films there is.
In honor of its 20th anniversary and the supposed last film released this past weekend, we are talking about Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Stick around, because towards the end, we will also be giving our first impressions on Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Is that
yes, Rise of Skywalker. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, spoiler alert a little bit ahead of time. Okay. Jingle. Dee, 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 dee. Okay. We're back. No, wait. I wouldn't say that. Because we didn't leave. Yeah. So, that was the jingle. All right, Hunter. So, first I wanted to talk about the technical details of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
So, first I put one of the first motion tracking characters, Jar Jar Binks.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
No, which is bad because, like, last year I totally, like, I studied the behind the scenes for this movie. Like, really? So, do you just know that fact and that's it?
No, I Googled it. No.
Right.
Well, what's funny, though, is if you watch the behind the scenes, he's there in person, in character wearing the costume.
And he has the face thing.
He has the head on top, and he's wearing visors so nobody looks at his eyes.
Yeah, I remember. So, they wanted the sight lines correct. I do remember that, yes.
It's really funny looking.
That's funny. I like that.
Yes. So what's something you noticed?
Something interesting, probably in the same behind-the-scenes video I saw. Probably, like, my favorite thing about kind of what they did is... In the scene where they go in the pod race hangar, and they're like talking with the guy, and Qui-Gon's like, "Yo, roll." The guy's like, "I'm gonna roll the dice, whatever." That scene, okay? Watto, that's his name. I just watched the movie. I should probably know this,
you should probably know that.
No, the hangar. The hangar's all that lead up for the hangar.
The hangar.
But no, those are huge models. Like those are like 4-foot models.
Those are real, right?
Yeah, and they look sick. I obviously have important comments to make about this.
Yes.
I just thought that was really cool. There's like an image of one of the prop designers like inside there, and it kind of like puts it all in perspective. Like he's as big as the pod racers, and it's really cool. Or the ships, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, then you weren't paying attention to the video.
I must have watched a different one. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Another cool technical detail. Released in May of 1999. I was alive then. You were not.
That's correct. Because that is how time works.
I'm pretty sure this was the first movie I ever saw as a kid. At least in theaters.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm pretty sure Mom and Dad took me to that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You were one.
Yeah. Well, they took me to Bug's Life, so they figured I was ready for that.
That's a big step up. That's PG.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
It is PG, so I mean.
Mm-hmm. You want to, and what else is crazy about that is that's the same month and year Carter Chug was born.
So, Who's that?
Our cousin.
Yeah, I know.
That's what
I don't
for
know.
the audience who doesn't know, our cousin was born in that month.
Our cousin, who you definitely care about and know. If I don't,
We'll cut that out. Okay. All right.
little mishap there.
Anything else you've written in there?
So I didn't write this down. So okay, my problem with the prequels when I was younger, for me, because I saw the original trilogy first, because my daddy raised me right.
Yes, he did. He raised us right.
I just always had a problem seeing like the original trilogy and the new movies, or not the new movies, but the prequel trilogy. They were the new movies. I had a problem seeing those as the same universe, because to me, like, just stylistically, they looked so different, like completely just not in the same universe. And I kind of struggled with that until I saw this thing. It was an interview. I should have written the guy's name down. That would have been smart, because then you could go check it out yourself.
We could validate this.
The lead art director, I don't remember his name. I could look it up. Anyway, so he also was having troubles design, like for the longest while. He would turn in these designs to George Lucas, and he'd be like, and George Lucas would be like, "Nah, this ain't right, Chief." And so like, so it took him a while to figure it out, and like the best way George Lucas, or like I guess George Lucas explained it to him in this way, and it helped him see it. He showed like an old, like, a streamliner, like those old, really cool looking trains. I don't know what they're called or what era they're from.
Oh yeah,
but they're like
the bullet trains.
Okay, like the very original ones, or in like the new Incredibles movie. I'm pretty sure it's like that.
Yeah.
Showed that versus like a new freight train, that like a cargo train, how it looks all rugged and whatever. And he's like, that's kind of the difference I'm going for. This like sleek, old, like golden era, whatever, versus like the now so industrial and like whatever.
Oh, that makes sense.
So like to me, that was like, okay, I get it. I can accept, because I don't know. It's just, it looks cool, and it totally fits in my mind, especially if you look at like the Rebels in the original trilogy, and like how their stuff is all like boxy and dirty and gross, and then in the prequels everything is clean and pretty and stuff, because like, well, I mean, it's the golden era. Like another thing that stood out to me is like when Obi-Wan is looking out into the city in the beginning, or in the movie. Not Padme, actually. She's looking out into the city. You see all the cars going on. Any of those scenes where like you see all these weird ships going around. Like, to me at first, when I was younger, I was like, this is dumb, because I don't see that in the original trilogy. But now when I see it, it makes me think of just like the hustle and bustle of like a working, like metropolitan area, right? So that's, anyway. That's what I thought.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Thanks.
Well, despite people's dislike of it, this film has earned over $1.3 billion.
$1.3 billion?
Billion.
That's a lot of $1 bills.
That is a lot of $1 bills. And what's interesting, though, is approximately 900 of that was from the initial run, and then about 120 extra were from the 3D re-release of it in 2012. Do you remember when that happened?
The re-release in 2012?
Yeah, when they were doing it in 3D. No. Should I remember that? Well, do you remember the app then? Like the Brisk Saber?
Yeah, that was for that?
That was for that movie.
I thought that was like...
for the re-release.
Whoa, I did not... Brisk, baby! Like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the guy, I'm pretty sure... the guy's name was Doug Chang.
Doug Chang.
I might be wrong. Let me look at his face.
Shout out to Doug Chang. If you're listening to this.
Let me see his face. Okay, well, because if I'm wrong, then rip. And so, yeah, I didn't. But in the re-release? Did they do like what they did with the original trilogy and like change a bunch of crap? And
no. Funny enough, George Lucas hasn't really changed these at all.
But he changed Yoda. When was that?
Well, I guess that was with the Blu-ray release, but he hasn't really touched his precious... Oh, okay. His precious prequel trilogy.
His precious prequels.
Yes.
I will say, I honestly didn't realize that this movie was a movie.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. In my memory, I was like, the lightsaber cut stuff, and then it ended, right? And then, like, actually paying attention, I was like, wait, there's a story here. Oh, something's going on.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have more technical details?
Well, just that it was the last movie till the sequels to be shot on 35mm film. Because every movie afterwards was made on video, in digital.
In digital? Yeah. That's actually interesting. Was that like a time thing? Like we were just barely getting the ability to start shooting digital professionally?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Attack of the Clones is the first digital movie. Like, first one made not on film. So, like, every movie before then...
The first and the last.
It's a horrible movie, though.
Yeah, well, that's for another episode.
That is for another time. Yes.
So, let's move on to the plot. Here was my synopsis for the plot.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's a 5-point synopsis. Point 1, taxes. Point 2, fix spaceship Little Anakin. Point 3, super cool Little Anakin.
Uh-huh.
Point 4, more taxes, Chancellor guy. And now point 5, the credits rolled at the end. Wow. That is the story. That is Phantom Menace, if you ever needed any synopsis anywhere.
Well, that does
I should put that on IMDb.
Yes, that does some... Yes, from Hunter. Here's the 5 plot points of the Phantom Menace. Taxes, Anakin, and taxes.
Yes. Actually, something interesting that I learned today watching this, because I procrastinated and didn't watch
usual,
it. Actually,
yes.
I had homework because I'm a working young man.
Young man.
But something I realized is the opening scroll is really important to read.
For once, it's important to
I've
read.
never read them before until Rise of Skywalker. That was the first one I've ever actually read, and I was like, wow, I know what's going on. All right.
Oh, this is...
So then with this one, I was like, now I get it.
Now you
nice.
It's the backstory. The prologue tells you what's going on.
Exactly.
Well,
didn't know it was important.
It's very important.
There's a reason it's there.
Something I want to point out real quick, backtracking, is this is the first time since A New Hope George Lucas has directed a Star Wars movie.
Right.
And every prequel movie he directed, and it's very obvious that he directed them.
Yeah. Did he do all 3 prequels?
He did all 3 prequels.
Well, then you don't have to say every prequel. You could just say the prequels.
That is true.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, I'll save that, but...
Yes. Well, to go back to the plot, to kind of expand.
Expand
on what you said, whatever the word is.
I don't know.
Darth Sidious has separatist leaders attack Naboo because it's his secret plan to become Chancellor or whatever.
But the Trade Federation thinks that it's to, like, do something important. I don't remember.
It's really not important.
They were like, I kind of didn't understand their motivation. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, which is usual. But I was like, all right, so these guys, they're the Trade Federation. They kind of control everything, and the Senate was like, oh, taxes. And then the Trade Federation was like, we're just gonna stop trade with these, like, outer planets because someone told us to do so. But, like, what I wasn't paying attention, was he saying that they were gonna get something out of it? Because, like, at one point, one of the Trade Federation guys is like, this was a bad deal or whatever. but that's all I remember. I was like, yeah, it was a bad deal. You got some creepy cloak dude, a Phantom Menace.
Maybe he's the Phantom Menace.
Is he the Phantom Menace?
I thought it was Darth Maul.
Is Maul the Phantom Menace?
I don't know.
Is Metropolitan Society the Phantom Menace?
Is it taxes?
Is tax? There it is, actually.
Oh, there it is.
Because you don't even realize it. You buy a sandwich at the store, 5 cents in taxes, didn't even realize it. It's a Phantom Menace.
Because I guess when you buy sandwiches, you're in Brooklyn.
Yes.
That's why
Where do you buy sandwiches? I want quality food.
You want quality food, eh?
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Well, we're about time for our break. Is there anything you want to say in the next 30 seconds before we go on our break? About the plot.
Oh, I will.
You'll bring it on later?
No, here it is. Ready?
All right.
Yusa in Big Doo-Doo. Whose decision was that? Why?
And every other thing they said, like...
I'm not kidding. The Gungans, they were like, hey, let's just be 90s and throw in some classy characters. So then every Gungan line is all like, yo, what up, bro? like what was it? Oh.
Well, what were you saying earlier?
Gun. What'd he say? Pasted? Gungan's gonna get pasted for this too? Jar Jar. He's like hip with the kids. Like, what the heck?
I know.
Anyway, that's my thought on the plot of the movie.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to go on our break now. So, Surfing Through Cinema is a podcast that premieres weekly on Monday mornings at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For more information, visit our website at www.anchor.fm/surfingthroughcinema. All right, we are back.
Yeah, that was a quick break.
That was a quick break. Okay, so we're going to discuss the critical consensus and then our actual views of the whole movie as a whole.
Yeah.
The whole movie as a whole. That makes sense.
The holistic viewing of the whole movie.
Viewing.
As a whole.
Yes, as a whole. So.
Does the movie have any holes?
Many plot holes. And loopholes.
And also,
you sound big doodle this time.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So, Roger Ebert, he said that the movie has action scenes that are interesting, but the plot was very convoluted and all over the place.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yeah. Something I was thinking about earlier was watching The Phantom Menace, and I assume the other movies directed by George Lucas. It's kind of like going to a play and watching a stage production.
Yeah.
Because, like, everything is so focused on, like, blah, 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 like, whatever people are saying. And so you're like, if you're like me and you're not paying attention a lot because you're a little, dumb, then you're like, all right, when's the next action sequence? Because, holy crap, all everyone ever does is, like, this is dangerous. This is really risky. Like, why are you saying that? I don't know.
No, that's interesting to think about because every time somebody's talking, the camera is on them. Like in a play, your eye would be directed towards them.
Right.
And so...
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like...
It's very awkward.
I think someone had told... Okay, our father. He told me something that a lot of people say about the movie, I guess, is or about George Lucas in general, is he's very like practical in the sense that like when he directs, it's a lot less emotional. It's a lot more focused on like getting the lines out. So it does offer more stiff kind of acting, and I definitely felt that watching this. Sometimes you were just like. It kind of feels like they're just moving along with the script, and you're like, all right. Anyway, a lot of like, talking with Luke or Anakin's mom.
Yeah, or even Anakin in general. Like, what was it we were laughing at that he said?
Yippee! Yippee! Why? Like twice in the movie. No, but he just had weird offhand things. He'd be like, "Are you gonna come with us too, slave mom?" Like, no, she's still a slave, Anakin. They just told you that. It
makes me wonder if in order to teach a kid actor, that they have to talk in a certain tone all the time. Because throughout the movie, he's like, "Are you going with us, Mom?"
Yeah.
Am I gonna be a Jedi?
I think that's just a kid trying to enunciate and get everything out. Or George Lucas was like, "Oh yeah, baby, this is good. This is quality skill right here.
Quality acting right there."
Yeah, that's what he sounds like. You're right.
Cut action.
Action.
We just take one take here.
So I was a little uncomfortable. Another thing I was uncomfortable with, I guess I'll just bring it up since I'm already opening my mouth. That everyone complains about, so I'm not saying anything new, but Padme, if you have to kneel on both knees to hug some kid, you're telling me that he's like the love of your life? You're gonna marry him someday? Like, why? What the heck? He's like, okay, there's a scene where she's like consoling him when he leaves. He's like missing his mom. And all I thought was like big sister consoling like little brother.
Yeah.
I don't like, and then in the next movie they're all like lovey-dovey and you're like, oh.
And he says like, I've dreamt about you every day for 10 years. Like super creepy like.
It's not normal.
No. I mean, he's not a normal individual, but he doesn't have to be.
He has a high midichlorian count.
Yeah, he does. Oh, midichlorian.
20,000
bazillion
per square inch. I don't actually.
Who knows? That was stupid too. Well, Rotten Tomatoes talks about how this movie is dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
Like every scene is exposition.
That's like
to the T.
That's a stage for like.
Which
if
is,
you go to like. I don't know, like you have to act through the words for whatever reason. Maybe that's just because I really only see high school stage productions. So I've never seen like The Professional. But I agree with that. Good job, Rotten Tomatoes.
Good job, Rotten Tomatoes. And then the audience and the critics have given it below 60%, which is their fresh rate. So both the audience and the critics gave it 53 and 59%. So it's rotten.
If you add those two numbers together, it's over 100%.
That is true.
Therefore, it
is rotten to the core.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious that for once on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience and the critics are in agreement about something.
That's fine. That's true. Especially like a lot of the newer movies that came out, for example.
Cough, cough, Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. Or another example, Captain Marvel got pretty decent reviews.
Yeah.
Pretty boring movie. You know what else is a boring movie?
The
Star
Phantom
Wars
Menace.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Actually, no, I liked it because I was paying attention. But if it was just kind of on in the background... No, maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. It's kind of boring.
It's very boring. Well then, let's get into our views then. So I'm going to list off my 5 points of it, and then you'll discuss your 5 points.
All right.
So, number 1 for me, better than Attack of the Clones, which is not a popular opinion.
Nope. Not a popular opinion. I like the animals.
You like the animals. But here's my thinking. Although both have like 1 or 2 action sequences, I feel like Phantom Menace kind of spreads it out throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's every 20 minutes or something. Yeah. Whereas in Attack of the Clones, the main battle is the last 10 minutes of it. And it's not even that good of a battle. Like, it's super short.
Well, I will say, the action in this movie is really exciting. At first, you're kind of like, but then, like, towards the end, when Obi-Wan just goes ham on Darth Maul, like...
He, like, cuts him in half.
Yeah, no, but, like when he's getting to that point, he's getting aggressive and, like, whatever, I was totally into it. He's just, like, doing all this weird crap, and I was like, that's cool. I can't do that.
Yeah.
He must be a Jedi.
He must have Jedi reflexes, right?
No, high midichlorian count.
Yes. Okay, number 2. Jar Jar Binks is pretty bad, but not as bad as young Anakin Skywalker. I still think Anakin is worse than Jar Jar in this movie.
Is Jar Jar in the next one?
He's in all 3 of the prequel movies.
He's in all 3?
Yeah.
Why don't I remember? Did I suppress that memory? Is that why I don't know? I was like, I want my childhood to be decent. So I just...
Forget Jar Jar. Yeah, he gives the emergency powers to Palpatine that helps him become the Emperor.
Oh.
So he's actually kind of important in the other one.
Oh, yeah. The klutz is a klutz.
Yes. So that's Jar Jar.
That's Jar Jar.
But no, I think Anakin, like, super annoying. Like we talked about earlier, his acting is horrid.
Yeah, but he's a kid.
So?
I watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Good actors exist.
Yeah, Stranger Things is loaded with kids his age or a little bit older.
The Goonies.
The Goonies.
Why not just make him older? There's a better chance of getting better acting when he's, not 10.
Uh-huh. Another issue I've had with it, they say he's too young or too old to be a Jedi. He's 10 years old. What do you mean he's too old to be a Jedi?
I don't know. I thought that was a thing. Like, they find, like, the wee children.
Well, they said that because of this movie. They made that a thing.
That's actually, honestly, that's how everything goes. Like, George Lucas does something, and then everyone's like, okay, how do we... Hang on.
How do we incorporate this?
They have to put up a big, like, board and have everything plugged in and whatever.
Because to me, it makes sense why Luke was too old, because he's an adult, and he can't be manipulated that much anymore. But Anakin was 10, still young. And
he could be manipulated.
Yeah.
I saw how Qui-Gon talked down to him.
Exactly. No. It's never made sense to me why he was too old to be a Jedi.
Well, my thought on this was, Hayden Christensen, was he around? Did nobody know he was around? Like, they brought him on later.
It should have just been him the whole time.
It should have been him the whole time. What they would have lost was some of that weird council stuff, but what they would have gained was a more believable... like
reason why
love story between Padme and Anakin. But also, it'd be more similar to Luke. Mm-hmm. How like Obi-Wan. I mean, Yoda went against the code when Luke was a wee boy in the episode 5 because he trains him a little bit.
Well, there's George Lucas breaking continuity again.
Well, but
by adding more.
There's
continuity.
no Jedi Council by then. Whatever.
No, there's nothing like that then.
Evidently, Yoda had books inside there.
Yeah, then he burns them and...
No, he doesn't burn them in The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'm talking about the other planet they're on. I don't know what I'm talking about.
In The Last Jedi, Rey she stole the books. So when Luke was all like, the sacred texts, and then Yoda's like, we go and look, and Rey...
It's a trap!
Rey has them in like her bag or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I
because
totally forgot about that until last night after watching...
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert.
No.
I guess it's not really a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. We knew that she had the books, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so I guess it makes sense.
See them again.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on Anakin. My thoughts, not enough scenes with Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Which is why he's in Rebels, Clone Wars, and Solo. Because people love Darth Maul.
He's at the end, huh?
Yeah.
I totally
For like 2 seconds.
Hey, not enough screen time yet again. No.
Uh-huh.
I feel the same way. To me, he's kind of just like a final boss. Like, he's there to remind you that, we should be worried for them. Because if he wasn't there, they're never going to be found, right?
True.
So the whole time he's supposed to be like hot on their tail.
Uh-huh.
But also, it was like, all right, bro. He exists.
Yes.
He's here. I don't know. I kind of liked him in this movie, though. A lot. Like, Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do anything. Stood out to me a lot as, like, a cool character, though.
Mm-hmm. I like him a lot more in this than I do in the other things. Because in the other things, he's always talking. He's, like, really creepy and crazy.
What I was going to thinking.
Well, you were going to think. You were thinking.
He's the only character who acted with emotion in the movie, because he was one of the only characters that had no lines or had very little lines.
For real though, he had like 5 lines.
The camera would be on him and he'd have to like express an emotion, and you're like, all right, I get it. But then when we meet Anakin's mom, she's like, no, I'm a slave girl, and he's like,
at last we'll have a revenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of his 2 lines.
All right.
There's Darth Maul. The pod racing was pretty cool, but it went on way too long. It was like 14 minutes.
I agree with that.
Way too long.
But I will say, okay, the audio, like the sound design for the pod race is incredible.
Good old Ben Burt. Shout out to Ben Burt.
Is he the...
He does all the sound for all the Star Wars movies.
Nice. Well, there's a reason he's a professional.
There's a reason why.
I love hearing them like whip by, and they all have different sounds and things explode, and it's sick. Something interesting about that you might have seen if you watched the behind the scenes videos and paid attention or whatever. The arena, like that main area where everyone's sitting and chanting and whatever. They built a live prop, or like a live model for that.
Yeah.
It was kind of similar to like the hangar, and for that, there are some distant shots where you see like none of the people are really moving, but it's like far enough away that you can't tell
they're like little sticks.
Yeah, they're like Q-tips or whatever.
Yeah,
like painted sticks.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. They're all like different colors, and it's like you can't really see them, so like why not?
But did you notice when it does show the people up close, it's just them copy and paste it all around the arena?
Is it? I don't know.
Yes, it's like this exact same 20 people.
That's hilarious.
All throughout it. Yes. But still, I thought it went on too long. I will say, I really like the sound of Sebulba's pod race.
But his thing was sick. Anakin's was kind of whiny like a race car, but his thing was like chugging along. It was
like a motorcycle. It was like,
yeah, right?
Yes. I love that.
Plus, that scene is just like, it's really cool. Something interesting is like when he has to fix the pod racer. I hate that that's what it's called. The pod. It's called pod racing, but what they drive are called pod racers. They're not called pods for pod racing.
Interesting.
I don't know. Anyway, but what I thought was cool is like when he has to fix it. Actually, I stole this from Dad, but anyway, when he has to fix it, you get to see him like manually do all this stuff, and you see the sensor thing going crap, and you're like, "That's interesting. I'm entertained." Anyway,
yeah,
I was entertained.
Oh no, is he gonna die? Oh, is he gonna make it? Oh, he does. Yeah. Good for him.
But also, you get to see like cool, fun mechanical stuff. That's like interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was cool.
I know.
And now number
cool
5.
Is a good adjective.
Number 5. This is kind of a jab, but I digress. But I don't care.
Everything you've said was a jab.
I know, that is true. Here it is. Star Wars is mainly for children to enjoy. Fanboys need to stop hating on it when things don't go the way they want it. They have to realize...
This isn't going the way you think it will, or whatever.
This isn't fan fiction. This is what George Lucas wanted, even if it was a pile of crap.
Even if he wanted to write some political drama with a couple like action scenes spersed in the middle,
it's his movie.
Yeah. What would have been a more suitable movie for this kind of atmosphere would be like a court drama about like people in the Senate or whatever, and then every once in a while a guy just watches an action movie in the middle of it, and you just see scenes from that.
Yes.
I don't know though. I honestly enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what are your opinions?
So I definitely wrote these down. Okay, actually, I don't know why no one talks about this more, or they do. I just didn't realize this. Anakin's Jesus.
Jesus.
Why did he make him Jesus? He's like, oh yeah, the midichlorians made a baby. What? How? And why? Why did I not know this? Did I just forget?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Palpatine who did it.
The chosen one.
Like he manipulated midichlorians to create life.
Yeah, but how? Well,
do you remember how he talks about it in Revenge of the Sith? How Darth Plagueis knew how to make life?
Bro, I don't remember any of those movies. See, maybe I should watch those.
This is why you need to watch them.
Open my mouth. I remember those as little as I remember this one. So
that's true.
Or as much as I remember this one.
You're like, what, 3, 4 when it came out?
I didn't watch it back then. I just haven't seen it for since I was 10.
You got a point there. Well, I've been watching them all. I'm watching them all leading up to the new one. Mm-hmm. So that's all fresh in my mind. But, so yes, as you were saying... He's basically Jesus.
He's basically Jesus. Honestly, the only things I noticed, because I'm not the film student, so I don't know anything. I just noticed random crap, like something that bothered the crap out of me. During the pod race scene, there's this little 2-second clip of a dude selling like food to the crowd. And he's wearing like a baseball cap, but it's not a baseball cap. It's like an alien hat. But it's like, why would you stoop that low, George Lucas? Why does he need the hat? That's stupid.
Wait, it's just sunny outside.
It made it look like he's at a baseball game, and I was like, this is stupid. He's selling hot dogs. I want to watch. I don't know. It took me out of it.
Not baseball.
NASCAR. Do people sell hot dogs at NASCAR?
Yes.
That's dumb, because those are loud cars. So if you're like, I would like a hot dog, the guy can't hear you.
They have stands.
Stupid NASCAR.
Go up to.
Oh, I went to a NASCAR race once.
Hey, I think I went to that one too.
And GameStop won.
Yeah, I thought GameStop blew up.
No, GameStop did donuts at the end.
Oh.
Because that's what they do. That's what I wanted. When Anakin finished the race, I was like, do donuts, let's go. Let's do donuts. Anyway, whip that bad boy.
So what else did you...
Whip the pod. I know he's a slave. I shouldn't say that. I meant the pod.
Gosh.
I'm just clearing things up so people know I'm not being insensitive, because that would be awful. Anyway.
Anywho. What else did you think? What else was your opinion?
I mean, that's all I have.
That's all, folks.
When I watch a movie... No, I don't know. I should have put more time into this, obviously.
Obviously.
I feel like what I've said is enlightening.
I think I've said all that I'm going to say.
I want to talk about...
Yes, we'll talk about the new movie we just saw. So, of course, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler warning, I guess. Is this going to... We should do an unofficial ending, so if someone wants to skip, they can just be like, all right, the end.
Yes. So, well, that's our thoughts on the Phantom Menace, folks. I don't know, anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, honestly, it's not as bad as everyone says it is.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It's not bad.
I like talking people sometimes.
I like it when people talk on movies. It's like watching my teachers talk in class. It's like homework. That's what the movie is.
The movie is homework. You have to pay so much attention.
And if you don't pay attention, you'll get an F.
No, you'll just be bored. One and the same.
For real, though.
At least if you get an F, that means you were doing something else stupid.
Yes.
All right. Well, is that the end?
Well, yes.
That's the unofficial end.
This is
now we get to talk about the Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker.
So, as I stated earlier, I've been watching all of them leading up to this, so fresh in my mind, a bunch of things in it. And I'll just initially say my initial thoughts.
What the heck?
I liked it.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it was a satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga.
Right.
It wasn't everything I wanted, but I thought it was pretty good still.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's my initial reaction. Similar. It's good. I like it a lot. It's dang good. Honestly, I loved it. There were more than a couple times where I had to physically suspend my disbelief. Is that what the phrase is?
Sure.
Because there were a few times where I was like, all right, Star Wars.
Like what?
Just throwaway things. Like there is a scene where we're in spoiler territory now, so I can say whatever I want.
We can talk about
Finn and the chick from the planet with the horses. They were on the Star Destroyer, right?
Uh-huh.
It's blowing up and it's crashing, and the Millennium Falcon comes down and they jump on it and they're safe. And then all of a sudden they're looking at it break, and then all of a sudden the Millennium Falcon's just flying away. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna I know they didn't fall off the top of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was like,
I remember
that cut was really fast.
Yes, where did they go?
They had time to jump in all of a sudden. I don't know. Another thing.
Maybe the door opened like Lando came out in episode 5.
Yeah.
Maybe they went in that.
They got in, obviously. But I was just it was just really fast, and for a second I had to okay, they're not dead, it's fine. And then I was
not hanging on.
There's something else that really got to me, okay. In that same scene, the huge, massive fleet of these Sith ship things with big old guns on their bottom.
The Last Order.
The Last Order, that's what it was called. So they get there, pose there, everybody's there, the main people are there fighting them. Yes. And they're like, frick, our guns can't do anything to these big cannons on their bottom, so what do we do? And Poe's like, just survive, or whatever, and they fly around and they can't blow anything up.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, when Lando comes back with the whole fleet, same exact types of ships, someone just had in his backyard, and he saw the message board and was like, yo, let's go out to some weird crazy place and figure out how to get there and whatever. So they get there, right? Did Lando know how to get there? How did he know if he didn't? Whatever. No, actually, I think whatever. Doesn't matter. They get there.
They're probably tracking them, got the message they sent out.
Same exact ships. Blew up the guns under the things.
Yeah.
Like this someone comes down in an X-Wing or A-Wing or whatever and just shoots it and blows it up on his own. Or her. I think it was a lady. I don't remember. But a ship comes in and blows it up, and it blows up the whole Star Destroyer. And I was like, What bullets are are they using different lasers? Were theirs like yellow or something? What did I miss? So that bothered me. That got to me. I was like, no.
Or maybe
This is a Endgame Captain Marvel moment when she just like flies through the thing and blows it up. That's how I felt. I was like, I mean, different response, but like just the fact that they were like all of a sudden able to blow it up, but everyone else couldn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe it was like, you know how in Lord of the Rings Two Towers, when they say you can't penetrate their armor, and yet they shoot an arrow in the neck, and the guy dies anyways? Maybe they found like the neck flaw.
No. They shot the cannon.
They shot
and
the
it didn't blow up. And then some people came and shot it and it blew up. And then they blew up like 10 of the ships. and then Sidious is like, this doesn't even matter. I'm so cool. Like, okay. From the basement. He was in the basement.
He was in the basement.
Alone. I like the Borg moment when he's like hanging from the ceiling. All connected
like
and wired
Lady
up.
Borg,
creepy and weird.
Whatever her name was. Yeah.
Lady Borg. That's her name. I liked his eyes.
Borg.
I loved like the lighting of his face, how it would like scatter around in different places.
Yeah.
So you'd get like this creepy look, but then it would only be for a second. I was sick in the very beginning. Okay, actually, Kylo's descending into the pit. I just went way back to the beginning. But when Kylo descends into the pit, it opens and he descends down that thing with his lightsaber out. That shiz is cool as heck, man.
Yes.
I was like, dang. But then another part that got to me, when Kylo jumps in later at the end and he hits the chain and he's like, ouch.
He said, ouch.
Why do you need such big chains in your basement? What are those chains holding down? Those are Mondo Burger chains. Why are they so big?
Mondo Burger.
I'm stupid. I get distracted by stupid stuff. When I saw the chains,
that's important.
I was like, okay. Like, something else going on down there I don't know.
For real, though.
There was another point I wanted to make. I don't remember.
I don't either.
Shiz. No, it was kind of important. Oh, it was more... Well, I was talking about dumb things that I didn't like, right? Or not dumb things that I didn't like. Though I like it more than Phantom Menace. I will say that. What was it? Frack, dang. I don't want to move on, but we probably should, even though I can't remember. It makes me sad.
Well, I just think it's ridiculous that Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53%, right?
Right, okay. All these like critical reviews, I saw this one review, I didn't read it. It was right before we were about to watch the movie. It was on Snapchat or whatever. And it was like, this movie is like, frick. Why am I forgetting it now? I had the word. Fetch. Doug. What is it?
Dull. Boring.
No. What's it? Underwhelming. The movie's underwhelming. Why was that so hard to remember? I need to think out loud sometimes. Underwhelming. What are you talking about? That movie was sick.
It was loaded with stuff. How was that underwhelming?
It was awesome. First half, kind of annoying. Actually, I will say.
MacGuffins galore.
And the freaking... It turns into Goonies at one point. I don't know. It was just like, gosh dang, I don't care about the dagger. Oh, the dagger has writings. The dagger's the only thing that has the... Oh, we gotta find the Sith tracker. Why is that the name of it? That's a stupid name. Like, I don't know. They're being all like... They're like, wow, this dagger. And it's like cool and historic, and you're like, this is interesting. But then they call it a Sith tracker, and you're like, blah.
Yeah, that was quite the MacGuffin. And did it bother you? It looked kind of like the sword from Lord of the Rings. Sting.
Yeah, it looked like Sting, didn't it?
Yeah.
The dagger. And it had the little Goonies key thing. So she like just so happens to like, oh, maybe if I pull on this weird red thing, sick, and then it points to it.
Yeah.
I did love that sequence though. When she goes in there, she sees Kylo.
Death Star? Yeah.
I think somebody's here, but that's okay. Dang, I'm really sad I can't remember that one thought because like it has been on my mind all day of wanting to tell you.
Yes.
But frick. Anyway.
Well.
Overall good movie. Okay,
good movie.
This is so dumb. I'm gonna digress for another second and annoy the crap out of whoever decides to listen. But, okay, you have rocket pack dudes that can fly with their rocket packs.
That's pretty cool.
You have dudes who drive cool little sand things. Why do they have to launch the rocket dudes off the sand things if they have rockets. They could just fly off. They don't need to be launched. They could fly. They literally flew.
Yeah.
I thought it was like launching, and those were like boosts, and they would get onto the little craft or whatever. But no, they just flew in the air for the whole time. So I was like, you didn't need to launch them. That was stupid. Merchandise.
Well, I was just thinking maybe it's like in the Battlefront game where when you get too high,
you can glide for a little bit, and then you fall
run
back
out, or you overheat or whatever. Maybe it's that.
No, they flew. They were straight up jetpacks. Because it's not a video game, so they don't need some weird mechanic like that. It's a movie. They can do whatever they want.
That is true.
And they did do whatever they want.
Movie progressed because movie.
Real quick, favorite set in the movie?
Ooh. I liked Kylo's room with Darth Vader's helmet in it.
He had like all the collectibles all lined up and stuff. That was cool.
And the interior of the Last Order ships looked really cool too.
It did, yeah. I liked the red and black helmet mix.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. Something else that was cool, I don't know why I loved it so much, but when Lando shows up in his cruiser thing, and they're in there, it's like the weird rolly thing at the sand planet, whatever it was called. I don't care. They get in it, and it was sick. It was sick, dude. It was sick. Sick. It was cool. It was like a little trade on wheels depot thing, and I was like, I would like to own that and barter with people and yell at them for being dumb in my little ship.
Yeah. What did you think of Rey being a Palpatine?
I don't care. I thought it was cool.
You thought it was cool?
Yeah, I liked the whole granddaughter, grandson aspect of it. She can't kiss Kylo if she's his brother, sister, or whatever.
I think cousin.
They're not cousins.
Let's think about it.
Palpatine is someone else.
Palpatine created Anakin.
Please stop that thought.
Okay, I'll stop it.
I see where it's going.
Messed up family tree, the Skywalkers.
No, but now Rey is a Skywalker.
She is. I liked that.
I liked a lot of the fan service too.
Kind of wish they had more ghosts though.
Yeah.
Like Yoda and Obi-Wan.
But we got to hear everyone's voices.
Yeah, that is true. That was cool.
Honestly, it fit that scene because it's all black and dark and creepy, and it would be like, oh, the blue people are here.
That's true.
I don't know. No, okay. One thing that got on my freaking mind. That Luke's hair as a blue person
was a lot longer than it was before, right?
No, it was just annoying as heck. I was so distracted by his hair. It was like greasy and like long. I don't care.
I thought it looked even longer than in the last one.
It was gross.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, if Darth Vader, when he died and he took Hayden Christensen's form, what a beautiful man. But
beautiful man.
He looked like Anakin, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Luke just make himself look young? Like, why did he want to be some like oily old dude who's been living in the water planet or whatever?
Well,
I don't know.
I think here's two reasons why. One, because maybe he didn't know that yet, how to do that. Or two, because J.J. Abrams needed his Obi-Wan Kenobi as a ghost part of his third movie. Like how in episode 6, Obi-Wan comes back.
Yeah.
They needed that moment.
Yeah.
Which is one of my big problems with it is it's very similar to Return of the Jedi.
I didn't care.
But still good.
Well, when everyone complained for Force Awakens that it was so similar or whatever.
That is true.
I was like...
It was still good, though.
I like them both. I like them all. It's a movie, and things move around, and there's shiny lights.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, Hunter, unfortunately, our time has run short.
Is it unfortunate?
Is it, though? Any last thoughts before we sign off today?
No.
No. Well, if you haven't seen it yet, go see the new Star Wars. It's spectacular.
It's spectacular. I'd give it 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Out of 2. Because I only have 2.
I'd give it 3 out of 4.
Thumbs up?
Yes.
That's a little weird.
Because I am General Grievous. I have multiple thumbs.
Sure. I think he has 8 thumbs, though. Because when you look at his hand, it's like the weird claw crap.
Oh, you got a point there. All right.
He has a point. 8 of them.
Well, thanks for listening today. Thank you, Hunter, for being here today. thanks, Hunter, for being here today on the show.
Of course.
And thank you to all the listeners.
First episode.
Of the very first episode ever.
And the only episode.
No. Well, maybe.
Well.
Next week, we'll discuss, or I'll discuss. Do you want to be here next time?
I'd love to be here next time.
Okay. Next time, we'll discuss a timeless classic that has been adored by both fans and by just about everyone for over 80 years. Until next time, this has been Surfing Through Cinema with Hawaii Harry. Take care. Thank you for listening to Surfing Through Cinema. Make sure to check us out on Facebook at Surfing Through Cinema with Hawaii Harry and on Instagram with Surfing Through Cinema. We also have a website, www.anchor.fm/Surfing Through Cinema, where you can learn more details on upcoming episodes and on past episodes.